morning and welcome to Smell the Coffee on this beautiful Monday morning. You're joined by Diana Master. I'll be flying solo today, but don't worry because the show is not going to be any less interesting. As usual, we're going to be bringing you some of the latest celebrity news and the news that is making the buzz on social media. Now, today we are of course going to be talking about Justin Bieber's Coachella performance. We're also going to be talking about a highly anticipated tour. Yes, that's right, the R&B tour, which is the Raymond and Brown tour. So if you didn't know, if you didn't know, have you been living under a rock or what? But Chris Brown and Usher are doing a joint tour, and we can only hope that they'll be visiting South Africa so that all of us can, hop on a plane and head on over there. But nevertheless, we will be bringing you these stories and more right after this short commercial break.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Do you like traveling?
Do you like to experience new places?
Well, then you should tune into On the Rock, where we explore enjoy establishments all over Namibia and South Africa. Great food, great fun, and so much more. So be sure to mark your calendar as we explore the beautiful landscapes of Namibia at the various enjoy establishments.
And where we also get to go on game drives, different activities, and meet the awesome staff of the different establishments.
We will see you there. Watch On the Rocks every Monday at 9 p.m. on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25.
Before we get into our news, is it really Smell the Coffee if we don't bring you our meme of the day? Here's today's word of the day.
Word of the day. No family meeting, no friendship intervention can stop me from loving him. I love him more than everyone.
You really don't need anyone when you have your man, guys. Trust me. Leave that group chat. All these people are going to try and tell you, oh, he's a red flag, or oh, she's a red flag. Don't listen to those people. That's just negativity speaking. That's the jealousy speaking. You don't need anyone else, just you and your person, okay? And then even if you guys break up and you go back to them, they will always have their arms open for you. Trust, guys, trust. It's okay. It's just going to be you and your man or you and your girl against the world. Don't let anyone come in between. Not even family members, not even friends. I'm joking. That's very toxic. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's take a look at our next meme.
I noticed that when women start to be happy in relationships, they want to get married. I'm devoutly against this because I'm devoutly against buying a satin dress that I will never wear again to watch you wed a man that we all hate. So I've decided that whenever my friends get too happy, I will bring up old drama and I will make up. And now with the help of AI, this has really helped my case. I have AI'd photos of my friends' men cheating, as well as being on vacations with me and my family. I will not stop. I will not apologize. OJ did not do it. Oh my God.
Exactly. This is why I'm saying don't let your friends come in between you and your relationship. Because now look, people are here making AI photos of your bae on vacation with them. Now this man or this woman is legitimately trying to be like, babe, that's not me. Like, so why would Kaya lie to me? Why would Kaya lie to me about you being on vacation with her family? Why? It's because Kaya just doesn't want to buy a satin dress. Kaya doesn't want to watch you with the man that is going to cheat and lie to you. So I don't know if this is like just being a good friend or this is just jealousy and toxicity on another level. But obviously it's a joke, as you can see that people are laughing. It's a little situation that they have there where they say the most unhinged things and try to keep a straight face. Nevertheless, right after this, we'll be bringing you our top stories. So stick around, we'll be right back.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Before we get into the news that broke the internet over the weekend, there's some more news that broke the internet over the weekend, and that's Justin Bieber's Coachella performance. Now, fans were beyond excited to hear that Justin Bieber would be headlining the second night at Coachella 2026. However, his sparse performance on Saturday night, a large part of which consisted him singing along with his own YouTube videos, has left Bieber fans, festival goers, and music reviewers divided. Now, similar to his 2026 Grammy Awards performance, Bieber's 2026 Coachella set was very lo-fi, no choreography, no big production. Instead, Bieber kept things chill, almost off the cuff at times, bringing a few special guests on stage to sing with him and leaning mostly into tracks from his 2025 albums, Swag and Swag 2. Now, Justin Bieber, of course, took to the stage and basically had a laptop and was streaming some of his old songs. Then for a decent portion of the performance, he scrolled YouTube on his laptop and picked old school Bieber fan favorite videos to be projected behind him on the big screen. And then he sang along with them. At times he sang to them, almost like he was singing right to his younger self. The feeling was much more like I'm hanging out reminiscing with my boy Justin Bieber in the garage, rather than I paid over 500 USD for the musical performance of a lifetime. But then again, it did have a familiar 2026 hyperactivity to it as well. Rolling Stone called Bieber's set messy. Entertainment Weekly called the performance sleepy. Page 6 used some fighting words, actually calling it lazy, but many fans loved every minute of it. In fact, in the comments on social media, one fan wrote, "It's okay if you weren't the target audience for this performance. I was, and I had a blast." And who, if anyone, does Justin Bieber owe the most to anyway, if not his fans, and what exactly does he owe them? Bieber, now 32, was discovered at the age of 13 in 2008 after releasing his debut My World album at age 15 in 2009. He quickly rose to teen idol status and became one of the youngest solo male artists to top charts. As he's publicly spoken about, he struggled with severe drug and alcohol abuse into his early 20s, as well as anxiety, depression, and other mental health related issues. Like many young stars who got real big real fast, Bieber grew up publicly in front of a world who continued to expect more and more from him. He had to show up and sing, like it or not. So maybe this performance is exactly where Justin Bieber is right now, and maybe it's even a good place. Maybe it's a place of healing. He did seem to be enjoying himself. Now, other commenters agreed across social posts about his performance. It felt like healing for Justin and beyond. So, not only did this man set up a laptop and just go on YouTube and start streaming his old songs and, young Justin Bieber and singing along to him, he also played some of his favorite memes, including his famous, "It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business." And he was actually basically repeating what he was saying, what he was watching behind him. And Katy Perry even joked and said, thank God he has YouTube Premium, because imagine if in the middle of that an ad started to play. Now, I don't know if I would call the performance lazy. I think Justin just remembered he has free will, but also he was paid $10 million for that performance, for him to just go sit there and basically just sing along to his old songs. And honestly speaking, I think that's iconic. I feel like that is legitimately iconic. There was no need for all this drama, all these big things, all these nah. My guy just said, laptop, microphone, big projector, let's sing along. And the fans were having it, to be honest with you. If you take a look at some of the clips, the fans were singing along, having a blast. So, like the other fans said, if you were not the target audience, that's okay. But most of the fans actually seemed to enjoy the performance. Now, into some very, very, very big news. Chris Brown and Usher joined forces for R&B Raymond and Brown tour. Chris Brown and Usher have announced a joint tour called the R&B Tour, a reference to their last names, Raymond and Brown. Details are sparse so far, but the pair shared a video on their social accounts featuring them riding to a show on motorcycles with excited fans in pursuit. The video shows them meeting up on their motorcycles, removing their helmets, and stepping into an elevator to head out on stage. It's time, Usher says. Hell yeah, Brown answers. No dates or cities have been announced just yet, but the trailer indicates it will be a stadium tour. It's also not clear if the duo will tour just North America or if they'll be heading overseas. But news of the tour follows the pair teaming up for a remix of Brown's It Depends. Usher also joined Brown as a surprise guest during his Atlanta show in October. They've been known to collaborate in the past with tracks like New Flame and Party. They've also had their fair share of problems over the years, particularly with an alleged physical altercation at Brown's birthday party in Las Vegas 3 years ago, but that seems to have blown over and certainly isn't the biggest of Chris Brown's worries anyway. The singer has had a slew of legal trouble throughout his career, most famously his abuse of then-girlfriend Rihanna back in 2009. He also has some court dates coming up related to charges of attacking a music producer in a London nightclub in 2023. This perhaps explains why there haven't been any dates announced yet for their upcoming tour, if they're having to work around his legal obligations. Brown was arrested at a hotel in Manchester last year after returning to the UK for the first time since his 2023 incident. The trial is scheduled for October, but he's got a preliminary hearing this month. So we will see what happens. Now we can only hope that South Africa is a pit stop for this tour, because this is about to be the biggest tour in history. It is going to be big. It is going to be huge. I mean, you're looking at two of the most iconic R&B performers. You've watched Usher's tours. You've watched Chris Brown's tours and their performances. Now imagine putting them together. Hi, guys. We need them to make a stop in South Africa. Please. This is us begging on behalf of all the African fans that Chris Brown and Usher need to make a pit stop in South Africa or anywhere in Africa, please. We'll make our way there. We'll make our way there, trust. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of our top stories. Now, right after this, we take a look at somebody who is making a positive change with her initiative, Just a Girl. Let's take a look.
I'm joined in studio by a beautiful young lady who's bold, ambitious, and also very inspiring. She is the woman behind Project I Am Just a Girl. Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Good morning.
Now let's get into what inspired you to start the I Am Just a Girl project.
Yes, so basically what inspired me was the thought, it's the transition when you're stepping into womanhood, when you're finally becoming an adult and a woman. So this transition is usually so confusing. So I thought to myself, you see, most of the NGOs in Namibia prioritize learners, girls that are age 15, girls that are already in high school. Then I thought, but most girls start their periods when they're 11 and 12. So why not just bring up an initiative where we educate those girls and empower those girls, you know? And yeah, and help them just transition comfortably and not vulnerably, you know?
Okay, now for the viewers watching, let's just get into I'm Just a Girl, the project itself. What does it entail? Who stands to benefit from this?
Yes, so I'm Just a Girl prioritizes young girls, right? And the goal is to eradicate period poverty because it's real. It has been proven by statistics. It's real, it's happening, it's in the country. So we thought, why not? You know, so basically the beneficiaries are the young girls. We empower them, we educate them, and we also donate sanitary pads to them. We show them how pads are used, what pads are for, you know, and we just make them feel comfortable and just know what happens to their bodies. Like, it's not a bad thing, you know. It's normal, it's a norm. It's actually even making you unique. It makes you unique.
Wow, I love that, I love that. And a lot of girls need that.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we don't understand, that some people don't have access to pads, what have you. And it's really good that you are doing that. I know that you did mention that the young girls, ages of 11 and 15, and I understand that this is because they're in that transitional phase, and that's why it was so important for you to be inclusive of that. As the project expands, are we going to see this demographic expand, or are we keeping it to this?
Yes, so basically, we have a whole schedule for outreach, actually. Yes, so we do not want to disadvantage any girl, you see, or to leave out anyone. So we have phases. We have started with Commerce Region. We have visited Ella Du Plessis so far in Green Leaves Primary. And last week, we also visited Okahanja. So that is Ochezonjupa, right? So now we are branching out to go to Ohangwena. So the plan is basically to visit 3 schools per region. So hopefully 3 different towns in one region per month. So next month, we are going to Ohangwena region.
Now, this looks like a lot of work. Who are you working with?
Yes, so of course, I have a team. I can work alone. We have a team of about 12 individuals, and we also have volunteers. So basically, we're like maybe even 70 on that group. Yeah, so we're a lot. We are working together, and of course, sponsors as well, donors as well. So we are working together with all of the stakeholders to maintain and to keep the girl child in school.
Now, period poverty is often a silent issue. From your experience, how is it affecting girls' education and overall confidence in communities you work with?
So you see, period poverty is a thief of education. So it just slips it away like this, you see. So basically, when a girl misses 3 to 4 days of school, that is plus or minus 50 per year. These are already 50 school days missed. And now it's very hard for this young girl to catch up on her academics, which often leads to dropping out of school or just failing. And this is just because of period poverty, a crisis, a natural disaster, if I was to say. Yeah, so basically it negatively affects this young girl because they end up dropping out of school or missing out on school.
Now, the nice thing is that you mentioned that you do work with a team, and obviously you are working with sponsors and donors. How have partnership contributed to your success so far, and what more is needed from the private sector?
Yes, so for the past 2 schools that we visited, it was our Siku attorneys that sponsored. We are very, very grateful to our Siku attorneys. But this isn't enough to cater for the whole country. So we are looking out for sponsors and donors to come through, the community at large, the Namibian community at large, to come through so that we keep our girl child in school. So yes, we are working hand in hand with the stakeholders. We have contacted a few private sectors. They've responded positively, but we're still waiting for them to just come through. Yeah.
Project I'm Just a Girl. Yes, I definitely wish more private sector involvement for this project. It's a much needed and necessary project, and it's really, really commendable what you and your team are doing for the community and for the girls. What challenges have you encountered, especially when you go to the more remote areas, and how were you able to overcome some of the obstacles and challenges you faced?
Yes, so challenges are a lot, but of course, where there's a will, there's a way, and this cannot serve as a barrier to saving the girl child, right? So we have challenges such as logistics. It's very hard to get a car to transport us around, especially if we are not paying for it. But yes, of course, because we needed to be there, we booked cars. Yeah, we used some of the funds for logistics. We split it to buying of sanitary products and now to the cars. Yes, so we book cars, and also now, and not everybody can go, right? Not every volunteer can go, and my whole team can also not go because logistics, you know, the resources are few. So with what we have, we take a few members only, and then we use the little that we have for the logistics. So that's one of the challenges. Also, reaching out to the schools, because now most of the schools don't even answer their landlines. So I have to go deep and go pull strings to just get a life skills teacher's personal number. You see, then I have to communicate to them, and then they agree, and then we come through. So yeah, so that's like the main challenges of it.
But I do see great things for the project. Now, looking ahead, what is your long-term vision for the project, and how can ordinary Namibian girls get involved in supporting the cause or getting help from the cause?
Yes, so the long-term vision is to introduce or rather implement a policy to just have pads all over the school grounds. Yes, like why do I have to go to a life skill teacher who's rarely available most of the time or has a class somewhere and I'm knocking to get a sanitary pad, right? Why is there no dispersing container where pads are kept? You see? Why is there no specific trash can where we can confidently wrap our pads after use and then we keep them there? So we want to establish a policy in the education system to provide sanitary pads, also to reduce the cost of the pads. We visited Green Leaves and we asked, do you guys have access to sanitary pads in your community? Yes, we do, but they're very expensive, miss. And I'm like, how much are they? 20 Namibian dollars. And I'm like, but I bought them for $7. You see, because these remote areas they are so expensive, sanitary products are so expensive in these areas. So the long-term vision is to establish a policy on school grounds and also to reach out to these private sectors to just reduce a little bit, yes, of their costing of the sanitary products. And the girls out there can also come through to help the initiative by donating sanitary pads or just joining us for outreach. Yeah.
I love that. I love that we can also just donate sanitary pads, what have you. And like I said, you guys are doing amazing work. I wish you all the best on your journey, and thank you for coming to Smell the Coffee and enlightening us about Project I'm Just a Girl.
Thank you so much for having me.
And then now we have come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to Smell the Coffee.